You ever feel like you're just stuck on a treadmill? You're working hard, you're putting in the hours, but you're not actually getting any closer to your big financial goals. Well, what if the secret isn't about trying harder at all? What if it's about combining the right mindset with the right system? That's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to take two absolute powerhouse books and fuse them together to build one single actionable framework for success. Okay, let's get into it.
We have all been there, right? You get this huge burst of motivation. You set a massive goal. You're going to save more money, learn a new skill, finally get that side hustle off the ground, and then a few weeks later, all that energy is just gone, and you're right back where you started. So what is going on here? Why does making real, lasting change feel so incredibly difficult? Well, it turns out the answer isn't about more willpower. It's not about just gritting your teeth and forcing it. It's actually about a powerful one-two punch. First, you need a new mindset to completely change what you believe is even possible. And second, you need a reliable system to turn that new belief into your day-to-day reality. See, one without the other, it just falls apart.
So let's start with the absolute foundation, your mindset. And for that, we're going to dive into the core philosophy of Robert Kiyosaki's Rich Dad, Poor Dad. This is a book that has truly, fundamentally changed how millions of people think about money.
The whole book really boils down to this powerful contrast. You've got the poor dad mindset, which, let's be honest, is what most of us are taught in school and society. It's all about playing it safe, getting a good job, and a steady paycheck. But the rich dad mindset, it completely flips that on its head. It argues that real wealth comes from financial education, understanding money, and taking smart, calculated risks.
Now, this might be the simplest and maybe the most powerful idea in the entire book. It is this simple. An asset is anything that puts money into your pocket. A liability is anything that takes money out of your pocket. The whole game, according to Rich Dad, is to spend your life acquiring assets and avoiding liabilities. That's it. That's the core strategy.
So when you look at these key lessons, you start to realize something important. Rich Dad, Poor Dad isn't a step-by-step instruction manual. It's more like a manifesto. It's designed to completely rewire your perspective, to help you see that your most powerful tool isn't your salary, but your financial knowledge, and your ability to make your money work for you instead of the other way around. Okay, a powerful mindset is an amazing start, but a mindset without a plan, that's really just a daydream. We need an engine. We need something to drive this change forward. And that engine is the brilliant, practical system from James Clear's Atomic Habits.
This quote right here is the heart and soul of James Clear's entire philosophy. It's not about making these huge, dramatic, life-altering changes overnight. Nope, it's all about the unbelievable power of compounding. Think about it. Getting just 1% better each day doesn't feel like a big deal, but over a year, you end up 37 times better. That is the massive transformation he's talking about. And the best part is, he gives us this beautifully simple framework for how to actually do it. If you want to build a good habit, you just follow these 4 laws. You make the cue obvious, the craving attractive, the action itself easy, and the reward satisfying. And what if you want to break a bad habit? You just flip it. You invert the laws. It's a system that honestly works for pretty much anything.
And this isn't just theory, okay? Clear gives us real, concrete tools we can use. There's habit stacking, where you link a new habit to one you already do. Like, after I pour my morning coffee, I'll review my budget for 2 minutes. Or you can use environment design to make good choices the easiest choices. But maybe the most powerful tool of all? Focusing on your identity. Deciding on the type of person you want to become. An investor, a lifelong learner, a creator. And so, here's where it all clicks together. This is the moment we connect the why with the how. Rich Dad, Poor Dad gives you the destination, that big, inspiring goal of financial freedom. And Atomic Habits gives you the turn-by-turn directions to actually get there. This, right here, is where the real magic happens.
Just look at how this system works in practice. You take a big, kind of scary, rich dad goal, like acquire an asset. That sounds huge, right? But then you apply the Atomic Habits system. You make it easy. You set up a tiny automatic transfer of just $50 to your investment account every single week. That's it. It's a small, repeatable action that builds a real asset over time, almost without you even thinking about it. You're using a simple, tiny system to achieve a revolutionary goal.
Now, of course, no framework is perfect. And to really use these ideas in the real world, it's super important that we understand their limitations too. So let's be balanced. Rich Dad, Poor Dad is an incredible motivator. It's amazing for changing your perspective. But It's really light on the specific, actionable steps. It's all why, not a lot of how. Atomic Habits is the complete opposite. It's this super practical, science-backed system for the how, but it still requires you to have the discipline to actually do it, day in and day out. The system only works if you work the system. So all of this brings us to the most important part, really. How do you take all these concepts and start building a system that actually works for you starting today?
It all comes back to this one central idea. You can't just have one or the other. A brand new mindset without a system to back it up just leads to frustration. And a system without the right mindset, that leads to a lot of action, but with no real direction. Real, deep, lasting change happens right there, at the intersection of a new way of thinking and a daily process of tiny, consistent actions. So let's end on this note. Forget about the massive 5-year plans for just a second. I want you to look at this question and really ask yourself, what is the one, just one, tiny, almost ridiculously easy habit that you can start today that will put you on the path to becoming the person you truly want to be? Because that, right there, that's where everything begins.